We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. There's a lot that happened in this generation of fighting games. I'm talking about Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Mortal Kombat 11, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Guilty Gear. This cycle of games has been a wild ride. And I think one of the biggest changes that swept over the fighting game industry is pay to win DLC. Now it's kind of fascinating because when you talk about games like Fortnite, Battlefield, Halo, they don't really go the route of pay to win. A lot of people was like, okay, we're not going to make this gun or this move or this character broken. Instead, we're just going to make a skin, charge crazy amounts, and just sell that instead. And that's kind of been a model going forward. But fighting game devs, they haven't really got that memo. I guess they just kind of ignored that whole 2017, 2018, 2019 fiasco. And they're trotting down this path of pay to win DLC. And at first it wasn't really an issue. At first it really wasn't a problem. But now it's obvious. There's a lot of people doubted, no, this character isn't broken, no, that character isn't broken. And then you see that character dominate online and in competitive tournaments for a whole year, a whole 2 years. It used to be deniable, but now it's kind of factual. When you're talking about fighting games riding this pay to win DLC wave, yes, it's very successful. Yes, they're selling a lot of characters and it gives the game so much energy, but there's also so much negativity created around it.
Number one is that the developers are more than willing to break the game on purpose when it's profitable.
Oh, you know what? People paid extra money for this character. You know what he needs? In his dumbass pressure stance.
Since then, as I predicted, they're not just here to stay. They've evolved. The future of pay to win gaming is here.
Games are expensive to make, but the fact that in the corporate world there is no such thing as enough profit.
What the hell's going on, Bandai Namco?
How he represents, you know, these super strong DLC characters that are, to be honest, quite pay to win. I think that's a problem.
But it's not just anime games. It's not just anime games, of course. You know, I think we mentioned this before. You know, Evo Japan top 8, right? Leroy, then Leroy.
Kazuya in Smash, Geese Howard for Tekken 7. You have to hate a character that otherwise you would have loved. For this next generation of fighting games, I would love for the fighting game developers to get off the pay to win DLC hype train and dive into skins. I know in the past I made a couple of videos where I was talking about how skins could be a bad thing and skins is overpriced and it's scummy. But now it's like if I had to choose between pay to win DLC and skins, I kinda would choose skins. For this video, I went back and I took 3 screenshots from Little Majin's, 2 from his Twitter, 1 from YouTube. Are you telling me that it's too late to add this outfit as a DLC preset to Tekken 7? I don't know about you guys, but if Banco released this outfit tomorrow for $20, then I'd buy it with the quickness. When this tweet was first put out, I was mad for 2 reasons. One, because I generally don't like skins, but like I said, if I had to choose skins or pay to win DLC, I'm choosing skins. The second reason is because Tekken 7 is horrible. The netcode, the internet infrastructure, cheaters, hackers, so many problems. And I feel like if they started just dumping skins into the game for $20, I don't think the community would respond in a positive way. I think a lot of people would be hyped and excited, but you would have people seeing this as Bandai Namco once again trying to milk the game for all it's worth. So that's kind of what my main reason for me saying no or disagreeing with Lil Majin when his first tweet was put out. But I think if they did this in Tekken 8, whether it's $20 or $10 or $5, I'm on board. There's already mods and hacks that allow people to do this stuff anyways. I see Yoshimitsu mods, I see Elden Ring mods, I see all kind of mods. It's too late to ask for better customization options. I just want to be able to put a hat on my character and still be able to change the color of the hair. Lil Majin says that would be godlike. More customization options aren't discussed enough. 10 months ago, Lil Majin did a poll on YouTube. I want more out of Tekken 7 as opposed to Tekken 8. More aesthetic DLC like customizations and outfits and better online. What do you guys think? Improve Tekken 7 or Tekken 8? I have to talk about something that happened a year and a half ago. When Lita came out, it was madness. It was chaos. There's been a few instances where mods and hacks have come in the crossfire of the developers. And when you talk about skins being added into the game as a replacement for pay-to-win DLC, right? Pay-to-win DLC is their main source of revenue. If they're going to get rid of that and add in skins, then everything that is competing with skins now have to go. Mods gives us a lot of access to the game, the back end. We could go in and change stuff, we could go in and see stuff, we could go in and do stuff. But when characters come out or when updates come out, people will use those same gateways, access points that were given to us because of mods, but they will use it for hacks. For example, if I have a doggy door on my backyard and I'm like, this is for my dog, this is for mods, but then all of a sudden raccoons, hackers start running in and out of that door too, then you have to change the door. And that's my whole point with putting mods and hacks into the same bucket. Mods is a doggy door made for dogs, but you have hackers who are raccoons going in and taking stuff, going in and trying to get characters for free. They're disrupting the ecosystem, and I think if you want to put skins in the game, that's just a whole nother issue that the developer has to take into account. I'm always very, very hesitant to say yes, skins in the game, because they're probably going to get rid of mods too. If you talk about another situation, March 31st, this is more current. There's an Elden Ring mod that was massive. It blew up all over Twitter. The video has 2.3 million views. Now, the tweet from Harada says, sure, Elden Ring is Bandai Namco funded title, and I was the production general manager in charge of Elden. So it's not irrelevant, it's ridiculously well made mod, but please stop it. And a lot of people were saying like, oh, why is he saying stop? Is he going to finally get rid of mods, do this, do that? But he was saying stop because it causes confusion. 2.3 million views on that video. Not all of those people are Tekken players who are in the loop. Some of those people could have been Elden Ring players, or just, an average Twitter user who sees a video trending and they think that this is official, this is real. And Harada's tweet basically says, this is the result of these super viral mods. Where can I find this? How do I download it? I downloaded it and now my game's not working. I downloaded this and now I got a virus because they didn't download the source. They downloaded some, off-brand hacker who's trying to capitalize off the situation. Like, there's a very dark side to mods that people don't really talk about. One, it's because that side is super small. It's not like this huge problem that's sweeping the whole community. It is kind of a niche problem, but it kind of affects people who don't know what they're doing. Now, I have some tweets here from Micheal Murray that I want to read that talks about this in detail. No one is trying to take away your mods. Just use common sense. I'm not going to argue with you guys on Twitter about EULA terms of use, IP infringement. I was just giving you some friendly advice. Whether you choose to accept it is up to you. The final one says, repeatedly breaking the EULA terms after 1 week ban doesn't sound like a good idea to me. The reason why these 3 tweets from Micheal Murray talking about mods and hacks is important is because it shows a escalation in force. It starts off with Micheal Murray saying, calm down, no one is trying to take your mods away. I'm just giving you advice. And then the second one is saying, you guys are repeatedly breaking terms of use, copyright infringement, IP infringement. You guys are walking down the path and it leads to a bad place. And then the most current one, he's now banning people 1 week for breaking terms of use. And the reason why he's saying that repeatedly breaking EULA is not a good idea is because people get banned and then they unban themselves. And yes, it's kind of a meme. Bandai Namco hasn't found out a way to stop this. And I think that's just a product of how Tekken 7 is made. In Tekken 8, if people carry on this same sort of behavior, I guarantee they're going to have way stricter punishments in place. And my whole thing is, the reason why these 3 tweets are important is because it shows an escalation. Mods, hacks, all of these things have been going on for so long. We all complain about how messed up the game is, and they are the ones who are dealing with it. So they are growing just as tired as us, but their actions as a result to us and certain parts of the community breaking the rules, it could be strict. I think I will do a poll eventually asking you guys, in Tekken 8, would you do Falkenraum and Leroy all over again if that meant you could keep mods? Or if you're okay with letting that be a relic of the past and going forward with skins. Because another thing too, when you talk about Tekken and really fighting games, mods is accepted wholeheartedly. And I feel like that's because the developers kind of had to. Fighting games is so small in the grand scheme of gaming. And they really don't want to upset their community too much, because if people leave, it's only going to get smaller and eventually it's going to be indie. And once you get indie, it's very difficult to climb out of that. We saw what Tekken 7 started at the beginning. We saw that budget and how crammed it got. We saw Street Fighter V. The only reason that game happened is because Sony said, we will help you fund this game, but it's going to be exclusive to our we saw the dark side of fighting games, and they are going to do everything in their power to not go back to that. If that's continuing with pay to win DLC, if that's adding skins to alleviate some of the complaints, if that's getting rid of mods, hackers, I don't know. I just want to talk about this because I think it is going to be a very interesting topic going into the next. It's already fascinating now, no matter what game you're talking about. It's a very important discussion. Characters being banned in tournaments, people complaining, people quitting, a lot of stuff is happening. And like I said, Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat 11, these games weren't really made for this era of gaming. When Tekken 7 came out, Twitch was way different. YouTube, way different. 2014 was way different. 2015. The world has progressed and changed so much since Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 came out, and Smash. So these next versions of the game, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, whatever Smash does and Mortal Kombat, that's going to be them adapting to the times, changing with the times, learning. It's going to be so important, and I honestly, the main reason why I want to see Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 and all this stuff is because I think it's going to be incredibly different from everything we got in the past. Mostly for good, but I think there will be some for worse in there. And this video, I just want to kind of try to talk about that and just share my thoughts on the whole situation, because with videos like this, we're putting our thoughts out there, and if the developers are listening, they can hear what we want and don't want. That's why I often go back to comments and tweets and I try to get other people's thoughts and opinions in the video, because if the developers are listening, that gives them some sort of idea as to what we want, and that can help them make the best decisions possible, right? So with all these things discussed, Little Majin's tweet, Harada's tweet, Micheal Murray's tweet, you have doggy doors and raccoons, you have clips from other content creators. I think that pretty much sums up everything I could say about this. Pay to win DLC is atrocious. Skins might be the next best thing, but Tekken will have to change a lot in order to incorporate that. So that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it at least entertaining, enjoyable. If you did, like and subscribe. Also check out some of the other videos that I made, but that's going to be it. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.